everyone. So I don't know if you noticed, but my last name is Butts. And it's even spelled like the body part. So yeah, I had fun growing up. But recently a friend of mine visited me, and he is the kind of friend that likes to give me notes on my comedy even though I don't ask for it. So he's like, Melissa, I can really relate to you having, a hard time with your last name growing up, because my last name is Pam. And yeah, right, I know. I used to get teased a lot. I used to get, oh, you have a girl's name, or, oh, you're cooking spray, ha ha ha. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, my last name is a body part. And it's not just any body part. It is the most taboo body part of our society. I mean, the most disgusting, vile, smelly liquids and gases come out of that thing. Now, if we all are honest with ourselves, we can probably get a little bit of pleasure out of it if we know what we're doing. But that's besides the point. So if your biggest problem in life is that you're sad because you got teased for having a girl's name, then I don't want your life. And then he goes on to tell me, you also haven't talked about your weight in your stand-up. And I was like, okay, so thanks for pointing out that I'm fat, because I didn't realize that. Thanks. And so yeah, and I have talked about my weight in my stand-up, so go fuck yourself. And then, because he thinks he's like an expert on my stand-up. And then I realized all this bullshit he's spewing, he just came over that night because he wanted me to get him high. And I was like, well, too bad, dude, I quit last week, so you're out of luck, and that's what you get for dating a woman that you knew was a lesbian, and then you were upset and surprised when she left you for another woman. So, that's the Mr. Pam story. I live on Clinton Street, and I've lived on Clinton Street for a long time, and I used to say, when I was telling people my address, Clinton as in Bill Clinton. And then I switched to Clinton as in Hillary Clinton. And then, unfortunately, after the election, I just had to switch to, the woman who should be President Clinton. Or the woman who made pantsuits cool, Clinton Street. Or the woman who, used a private email server and nobody gives a fuck. That Clinton Street. But speaking of our current government, ever since that quote came out where Trump talked about grabbing him by the pussy, I hear and see the word pussy everywhere. And I say it too. Like, I've never heard this word so many times in my life. Just even today, I work in television, and I had to email the network and ask them, do we need to bleep the word pussy? It's referring to someone being a wimp and not to a body part, so do we need to bleep pussy? I haven't received an answer back yet, so I'll let you know when I do. And also, I was recently in Paris, and the French word for push is pousser. So half the doors in Paris said pousser. I'm like, God damn, I cannot get away from pussy. Pousser, pousser, pousser. And then I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw a posting for this woman who will give you a personalized pussy portrait. It's totally true. I'm not even making this up. And I was like, well, how? Because she posted some of the portraits that she's done, and they're pretty abstract. So I'm like, well, what does she want me to do if I decide to do this? Does she want me to take a bunch of paint and rub it on my pussy and then give it a colorful snail trail as I drive myself across the campus? Or do I have to stand spread eagle so she can see and like do a representation of my pussy? Like, I'm just so confused. But I will say this, she is no Georgia O'Keeffe. But I did tell her she should call them comical cunts. And then I myself, I have 3 pussies. 3 pussies. So my first pussy is my giant cat, Lestat, and he's 29 pounds, and he's so huge that he became diabetic. So I know, bad pussy mom, I know. But, so I have to give him insulin shots every 12 hours, and it really fucks with my social life, because no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, like, sorry guys, I gotta go home and shoot at my pussy. And then my second pussy, well, that's my other cat, and he likes to punish me. I'll be sitting in the living room and I'll smell something disgusting, and then I will look into the kitchen where the litter box is and realize that he pooped right next to the litter box, not in the litter box. Right next to it, like 6 inches away, like so close. And I'm like, God, why? He's mad at me because I didn't come home when I said I'd come home. Because every morning when I leave, I'll be like, okay, bye honey, I'll be home at this time. And then when I'm not home at this time, something like this happens. So I guess I will know when my boyfriend's mad at me because they'll be shit next to the toilet. If I ever get a boyfriend. Well, who am I kidding? My cat's my boyfriend. We've been together 17 years. Aw, thanks. And not only all that, when he does take a shit, he takes a victory lap across the entire apartment. And I was like, I used to think he was just happy, you know, he felt lighter, he took a big dump, you know. We all feel good after a big dump. And then I realized it's the same thing. He can't stand the smell of his own shit, so he has to get away from it as soon as possible. So that's my second pussy. Now my third pussy is mine. It's my vagina, my hoo-ha, my whatever you want to call it. I see you next Tuesday. Let me just say, my pussy had a very good time in Paris, because you know what? Tinder works there too. All right, so let's see, what else should I talk about tonight? So I'm terrified of falling in love with a con man. You know the kind. He's charming, he's good looking, he has a whole other family in Rancho Cucamonga. And when I find out about that other family in Rancho Cucamonga, I stab his ass for lying to me. Which leads me to my second biggest fear, which is being featured on an episode of Snapped. Although I could use the credit on my acting resume, I have to consider that. You know, we all know that California is great. There's the weather, the mountains, the weed. But there's one thing I do not get about California, and that is In-N-Out Burger. I don't get In-N-Out Burger. All right, I know this is a controversial subject. It's very controversial, but I don't get it. I don't think it's that great of a burger. You know, they put the special sauce on it, which to me is just like a Big Mac, and I hate Big Macs. And you know what? There's no In-N-Out at In-N-Out. There's always a line. There's always a line. Why? It's not In-N-Out. You go in, and 45 minutes later, you go out because you're fucking starving. So, Fat Burger's better. Sorry, that's what it is. Fat Burger, guys, they're all better. The fries suck too. Who just said that?
Fries.
Whatever, we're not going to get into a debate about In-N-Out. You know, let's see. I'm a karaoke diva. And, but the thing is, in LA, karaoke is very competitive. So I will only do songs that are on a list that I have prepared. You know, I'll do songs like, you're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. So, you know, then I have another list of songs in my phone of stuff I'm working on that I'm not putting. So I practice those at home, and then I'll do them at karaoke. So I'm gonna leave you with this. On weekends, I take a water aerobics class, and I thought it was gonna be nice and peaceful, you know, like Golden Girls. No, it's totally Mean Girls. The women in this class criticize how I do the exercises. They make fun of my car, and they talk throughout the entire show, class. They never shut up. So one day I decided to rewrite the lyrics to the Golden Girls theme song. Here it is. Thank you for being a bitch. Travel down the pool and back again. Your heart is black. You're a gossip and a frenemy. And if you threw a party and invited everyone from the pool, you would see that there would be no gift from me, just a card that says inside, thank you for being a cunt.